Lawrence Parker, born August 20, 1965, and better known as KRS-One, a teacher, is a legendary American rapper straight out of the Bronx. He blew up in the mid-1980s as one half of Boogie Down Productions, a hard-hitting hip-hop group he formed with DJ Scott LaRock. KRS-One quickly made noise with powerful tracks like Sound of the Police, Love's Gonna Get Ya, Material Love, and My Philosophy, tracks that shook the culture and made people listen. Boogie Down Productions earned major respect, awards, and critical praise early on, but tragedy struck when Scott LaRock was shot and killed after the release of their debut album, Criminal Minded. After that loss, KRS-One kept the group alive, running it mostly solo and refusing to back down. By 1993, he started dropping records under his own name, staying loud and unapologetic. He became known not just for music, but for action, launching the Stop the Violence movement after LaRock's death. He's also a vocal vegan activist, calling it out in songs like Beef. Over the years, KRS-One has built a reputation as a major influence on generations of hip-hop artists, leaving a stamp that still echoes today. Lawrence Parker was born in Brooklyn, New York City in 1965 to an American mother with roots stretching to the Caribbean through his biological father from Barbados, who was never part of his upbringing. His early life was rough from the jump, marked by serious instability and repeated physical abuse from his mother's American stepfather, John Parker, during the family's time living in Harlem. When his mother ended that marriage, Lawrence and his younger brother Kenny moved with her to the Bronx, only to relocate again a year later back to Brooklyn. Sadly, the chaos didn't stop there. Home life stayed tense and painful, including more physical abuse from his mother's new Jamaican partner, pushing Lawrence to run away multiple times just to escape the pressure. By age 16, Lawrence left home for good, bouncing between the streets of New York in periods of homelessness before checking himself into a group home in the Bronx, looking for structure and safety. While dealing with all of this, Parker found purpose in the rising hip-hop scene spreading through New York City. He locked in as an MC, sharpened his lyrical skills, and became active in graffiti, using art as both expression and survival. In 1984, he left the group home and ended up in a homeless shelter in the South Bronx, a move that would change everything. Inside that shelter, residents started calling him Krishna because of his interest in the Hare Krishna spirituality shared by some anti-poverty workers there. During this same time, he crossed paths with youth counselor Scott Sterling, better known as DJ Scott LaRock, and the two instantly clicked as a DJ-MC duo. Around the streets and walls of the Bronx, Parker tagged under the name KRS-One, short for Knowledge Reigns Supreme over nearly everyone, building a reputation before ever touching the mainstream. Together, he and Scott LaRock formed Boogie Down Productions, dropping their debut album, Criminal Minded, in 1987, a project that hit hard and shifted the sound of East Coast hip-hop overnight. Beyond music, KRS-One stayed active in pushing messages of peace, awareness, and education throughout his career. He became a founding force behind movements like the Stop the Violence movement and Human Education Against Lies, HEAL, using hip-hop as a tool for change instead of chaos. He later founded the Temple of Hip-Hop, a group focused on protecting hip-hop's culture, history, and spiritual meaning. Through this work, KRS-One made it clear that his goal was to decriminalize hip-hop and, in his own words, raise hip-hop's identity and self-esteem. In a January 2003 interview with Aki X for Thrasher, KRS-One explained his vision, saying hip-hop has manifested Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, where he envisioned that the sons and daughters of former slave owners and sons and daughters of former slaves would join hands in brotherhood toward justice and freedom. He added that hip-hop shows this unity through artists like Eminem and Dr. Dre, through Russell Simmons and the Beastie Boys, through MC Search, Run DMC, and Aerosmith, finishing with "This is what it is to be hip-hopper." In KRS-One's track Outta Here, he looks back at the early days of New York hip-hop when the sound was still forming and legends were just getting started. He points to major influences like Run DMC and Houdini, artists he first heard blasting on the Awesome Two's radio show on WHBI, soaking up every bar and beat. KRS-One explains how the release of Boogie Down Productions' Criminal Minded and Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full in 1987 accidentally pushed both crews into pioneer status, whether they planned it or not. He also makes it clear that By All Means Necessary in 1988, alongside Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation to Millions to Hold Us Back, helped flip the switch on conscious rap, turning lyrics into weapons of awareness instead of just party noise. KRS-One first entered the recording world as part of Boogie Down Productions, a trio made up of himself, DJ Scott LaRock, and Derek D. Nice Jones, locking in a sound that felt dangerous and unapologetic. Around this same time, he took serious offense to The Bridge, a song by MC Shan, a protege of Marley Marl. That track was seen by many as claiming Queensbridge as the birthplace of hip-hop, a claim MC Shan has repeatedly denied. Still, KRS-One fired back with BDP's hard-hitting response, South Bronx, and the battle was on. What followed was pure hip-hop warfare. MC Shan answered with Kill That Noise, only for BDP to clap back with The Bridge Is Over, a record that shook the streets and the culture. KRS-One lived up to his nickname, the Blast Master, during a live performance aimed directly at MC Shan, and many people walked away saying he clearly won that showdown. That moment is often remembered as one of the first true MC battles, where rappers went straight at each other, not just the crowd. Before all of that, Parker and Sterling originally teamed up under the name Scott LaRock and the Celebrity 3, but that lineup didn't last long after the other members dipped. With just the two of them left, Parker fully stepped into the name KRS-One, and they rebranded as Boogie Down Productions, setting the stage for history. Their early single, Success Is the Word, released in 1985 under the name 1241 on Fresh/Sleeping Bag Records, failed to catch fire commercially, but it laid the groundwork. Everything changed in 1987 when Boogie Down Productions dropped Criminal Minded. The album made headlines with KRS-One holding a 9mm on the cover, a shocking image that matched the album's hard edge. Tragically, later that same year, Scott LaRock was killed in a shooting after trying to step in and calm a dispute involving a young individual and BDP member D Nice and local street figures, a moment that changed hip-hop forever. During this period, KRS-One started getting major respect as one of the first MCs to seriously blend Jamaican style into American hip-hop, bringing dancehall flavor straight into the culture. He tapped into the Zung Zung melody, a sound made famous by Yellow Man and Jamaican dance halls earlier in the decade, and flipped it in a hip-hop way that felt fresh and fearless. You can hear this influence loud and clear on the track Remix for P is Free, where his delivery rides that rhythm with confidence. That dance hall energy didn't stop there. The Boogie Down Productions classic, The Bridge Is Over, pulls directly from the same melody as Supercat's 1986 dancehall hit, Boops, mixing Jamaican-style vocal inflections with Bronx aggression. This cross-cultural sound helped KRS-One become one of the key figures credited with bridging Jamaican music and American hip-hop, opening doors for generations to follow.
What is it you don't care? You don't care about the victim's statement, or you don't care about the narrative that's followed?
Let me go deep into it then. There is a professional statement that I can make that's sincere, and that's the statement that I actually made.
So if they're human, and isn't part of being human, being humane to those who have the courage to step forward into an enormous arena?
No, these people work for the FBI. This is a whole different thing we're dealing with. Anyone who has a problem with Africa Bambaataa should quit hip hop.
What you've got to, I've just got to state to you that you cannot just dismiss.
No dismission. No.
But when you say you could care less, that's exactly how it's.
No. Let me tell you what I can care less about. Accusations and gossip. KRS does not get involved in that. Show me the evidence, and I will definitely have justice done.
But if it's historical, the evidence is very hard to acquire.
Then why say it?
But often because of the culture upon which you'd have to enter to actually confess.
After the tragic shooting death of Scott LaRock in 1987, KRS-One refused to let Boogie Down Productions fall apart. Instead, he pushed forward through the pain and dropped By All Means Necessary in 1988, proving the movement was bigger than any single loss. The new lineup included beatboxer D-Nice, rapper Ramona Miss Melody, whose marriage to Chris would last from 1988 to 1992, and DJ Kenny Parker, Chris's younger brother, along with others. Even with different members coming and going, Boogie Down Productions was still clearly KRS-One's vision, and the music took a sharper political turn with later releases like Ghetto Music, The Blueprint of Hip Hop, Edutainment, Live Hardcore Worldwide, and Sex and Violence. The message got heavier, the lyrics got smarter, and the purpose got clearer. At the same time, KRS-One became the driving force behind the HEL compilation and the Stop the Violence movement, pulling together major MCs for the powerful 12-inch single Self-Destruction. As his outlook shifted toward a more humanist approach, he leaned less on the aggressive Blastmaster image and stepped more fully into the role of the teacher, even though he never fully dropped the Blastmaster name. KRS-One made a clear move early on, turning his back on the wild, reckless behavior that was starting to creep into the music business. He kicked off his journey by forming Boogie Down Productions with DJ Scott LaRock, locking in a mission bigger than just records and fame. After connecting with the Zulu Nation alongside Africa Bambaataa, doors started opening fast, and that connection helped land him a deal with Sleeping Bag Records. While on that label, KRS-One dropped the single Success is the Word, making his presence known and proving he wasn't just another voice in the crowd. Rolling deep with DJ Scott LaRock, the momentum kept building, and once that record started buzzing, KRS-One made a bold move. In 1987, he launched his own label, Boogie Down Productions, taking full control of his sound and message. That same year, KRS-One released what many consider the first real diss record in hip-hop history, The Bridge Is Over, a track that shook the culture and rewrote battle rules forever. But success came with heavy loss. In that very year, KRS-One lost his close friend and partner, Scott LaRock, who was shot and killed near the High Bridge Projects just as Criminal Minded was starting to climb the charts. Despite the pain, KRS-One kept pushing forward and solidified himself as one of the core pioneers of hip-hop. As the culture began drifting toward a darker path, people didn't look to him for gimmicks. They came to KRS-One for answers, guidance, and truth straight from the source. After dropping years of hard-earned knowledge, KRS-One took things even further by opening a school dedicated to teaching people the history, values, and culture of hip-hop, turning lessons into legacy. He made it clear that hip-hop wasn't just music, it was education, discipline, and responsibility. In 2017, hip-hop as a culture faced serious controversy when an individual named A.A.N. Campbell publicly accused Africa Bambaataa, a major figure in hip-hop history, of inappropriate behavior that allegedly happened when he was a teenager. The situation sent shockwaves through the community and forced difficult conversations that many weren't ready for. Because of his close relationship with Bambaataa, KRS-One was put directly on the spot. During interviews, he spoke about his mentor and focused heavily on defending Bambaataa's legacy, which immediately split public opinion. Some critics pointed to past lyrics and statements, claiming they sent the wrong message, while others felt KRS-One was trying to protect hip-hop's foundation rather than address the controversy head-on. Not everyone agreed with KRS-One's stance. Rappers like Immortal Technique openly pushed back, challenging KRS-One's comments in interviews and calling for accountability instead of deflection. This sparked a deeper debate across hip-hop about loyalty, truth, and responsibility in the culture. So the big question remains, did KRS-One turn his head away from the darker moments in the industry, or did he feel it simply wasn't his place to speak on it? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with other hip-hop fans, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters.